ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲಾ?
ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನನೇ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
It is like money. Then that money compounds after some time. They don't know the concept of time.
ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದಾಗ್ಲೇನೆ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯದ ಕಡೆ ತಲೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಜನ.
A Jyotishi must have compassion. A Jyotishi must have empathy, right? What you did in the past is past, right? Yeah. Very famous multilingual actor, completely against religion, makes fun of Sanatana Dharma. For him to get a child.
Hi, hello, namaskara. Welcome to a very real and insightful episode about astrology, Andre Jyotishya. And we are in conversation with Pandit Katti, a renowned astrologer from Bengaluru. Namaskara, Katti.
Namaskara, thanks for having me.
So, Katti, ನನ್ನ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬಂದು, ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನನೇ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ನಂಬೋದಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So, what do you have to say about that?
In my younger days, I used to fight with people. People who don't believe in astrology, I used to fight with them a lot. That was my younger days. Now I just ignore people who don't believe. Whatever they believe, they can believe. Whatever they don't. But ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ,
ಸಂಕಟ ಬಂದಾಗ ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ. ಹೌದು,
that is one category of people.
ಹೌದು, ನಿಜ.
But Jyotisha is a science, it's a Vedic science. But ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಈ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, then you will get a result. And you can see that result in front of you. Okay. So whether it is an acid or alkaline or whatever, that is a chemistry kind of thing. That is something you can visualize, see, touch. But Jyotish, in an extent, is an empirical science. Which means that only when you get into the advice of the Jyotishi, over a period of time, did your life go through a course correction. For example, I came from my home, from Banshankari to here. This is the first time I am coming here. So I booked the Uber, and the Uber had a GPS. Because of that GPS, I landed correct near this venue. In our life, we all have a GPS. What to do when internal there is a GPS clock, right? Sometimes that clock does not work. It does not work. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲಾ? ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಡೇ ಟ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ? ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕಾ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುಬೈಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡು. ದುಬೈ ರೈಟ್ ನೌ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇರಾನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್, nobody goes to Iran anyway, but should I go to the US? ಈ ತರ ಸಂಕಟ ಬಂದ್ರೆ there are people who will say no matter what I will face it. That's also okay. But what Jyotisha does is, your roadmap is a little cloudy. Can you take this path and not that path
instead?
A simple, very, very simple example is, if I have to travel from Bengaluru to Mysuru, the easiest way a GPS can say is go to nice road, at least from my home, hit the expressway, you are going to get into Mysore in 1.5 hours flat. Remember this word flat. Okay. Now the GPS sometimes does not work, and the person has never gone to Mysore in his entire life. So he will go through Kanakpura and Malvalli and all that, and then he may get a flat tire. He or she will definitely reach Mysore, but it may not be 1.5 hours. It may be 4 hours with lot of difficulties. So Jyotish is a course correction roadmap. That is as simple as that.
Makes sense.
But I, as a Jyotishi, cannot say tomorrow you are going to, how do I make it more uh, impactful? Oh, you're getting married. Oh, you're going to get divorced. We don't do that. At least the astrology is from a lineage. ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯದಿಂದ ಈ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಕಲ್ತಿರೋರು ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ is a course correction. What to do, when to do. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾಳೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇನ್ ದಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ನೋ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗತ್ತೆ.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ನಿಜ. ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಹಾಗೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ನೇಮ್ಸ್. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು,
ಆಚೆ ತಂದ್ಬಿಡಿ ನನ್ನ ಇದರಿಂದ,
ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಆಚೆ. ನಾನಂದೆ, ಸೊ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ, ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್. I cannot do anything about it. But what I can definitely do is advise him certain things which we call as remedies. And I'm not talking of gemstones. I'm sure you have a question about that also later. Okay. But I am going to give some simple course correction remedies, some changes here and there, whereby a person can have automatically overnight nothing happens. But at least ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. How to come out of it. So if any astrologer says you do this remedy, you do this, you do 9 days of ಹೋಮ, 33 ಕೋಟಿ ಜಪ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೇಬಿನಿಂದ ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ರೆಮಿಡಿ ಕೊಡಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಂತ್ರ ಕೊಡಿ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜರ್ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷರ ಹತ್ರ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಹೊಡೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ, ನಿಜ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ. ಸಂಕಟ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ ಸಂಕಟ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಪೇಜ್ 3 ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಬಂದು, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಬೀನ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್. ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದು ಯಾ ಗ್ರಹ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ದೇರ್. ಶನಿ, ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ಕಲ್ಪ್ರಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಶನಿ, ರಾಹು, ಮಂಗಳ. ಪಾಪ ಈ 3 ಜನನೇ ಪಾಪ ತುಂಬಾ ಟಾರ್ಚರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವೇ ಟಾರ್ಚರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಜನಗಳೇ ಟಾರ್ಚರ್. ಅವ್ರು ಟಾರ್ಚರ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಬೇರೆದಲ್ಲ, ನಾವೇ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಎಂಪತಿ. ಆ ಎಂಪತಿನಿಂದ ನಾವು we should put ourselves in their shoes. ಅವ್ರ ದುಃಖ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆದ್ರೆ then that remedy will work. So the bottom line is people who don't want to. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾಳೆ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಟೆಂಪರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್, especially that Gen Z and all that we are talking, they will say, what is this? I will do whatever I want. You do whatever you want. But when something goes wrong, please go to a astrologer from a sampradaya. That is what I am saying. But astrology works. I have so many examples. Probably we'll get there.
ಹೋಗ್ತಾ we'll talk about it. ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದಾಗ್ಲೇನೆ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷದ ಕಡೆ ತಲೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಜನ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗ್ ಬರೋರೆ ತುಂಬಾ. ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗೆ ಸಂಕಟ ಬಂದಾಗ್ಲೇ ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ. ಸೊ ಅಂಥವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಆ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದು. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತರ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳಿವೆ. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಯಂಕೃತ ಅಪರಾಧ ಅಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇ. ಹಿಂದಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ನೆ ಪ್ಯಾರ್ ಪೆ ಕುಲಾಡಿ ಮಾರ್ನ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್. ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಇಸ್, ನಾವೇನು ತಪ್ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಯಾರು ತಪ್ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೂ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 2 different types of problems a person can have. ಮನುಷ್ಯನ್ಗೆ ಬರೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಪಾಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಮರಕ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಮರಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನ ನಾಯಿ ಪಾಪ ಕುಂಟತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಜನ್ಮ. ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಬಿಫೋರ್ I voluntarily retired from my 25 years of global IT technology, SAP technology. I was traveling a lot. SAP ನಲ್ಲಿ I was a vendor to SAP. So SAP used to book me in business class.
And I used to insist, please send me wherever you want, but only in 2 airlines, either Emirates or Lufthansa, my favorite airlines. Business class, ನಾವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅವಾಗ.
ಸೂಪರ್.
ಆಯ್ತಾ? Because that was my experience and all. ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಯಾರು ಬಂದ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ, 2 ಸೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಹೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನ ಟೇಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಫೆಲೋ ಸೆಡ್, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಅ ಡಬಲ್ ಶಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಕಾಚ್ ಅಂದ. ನಾನೇನೋ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅನ್ ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜಿ ಬುಕ್. ಇವನು ಒಂದು ಟಕ್
ಆಯ್ತು,
ಕೆಲವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 3ನೇಗೆ ನೋಡ್ದ. ಓ ಯುವರ್ ಅನ್ ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜರ್
ಬುಕ್ ನೋಡಿ.
ಇದೊಂದು ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್ಯರಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಜಾತಕ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಕೈ ನೋಡಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
ಯಾರು ಕುಡ್ದಿಲ್ವೋ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನ್ ಕೈ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, ನೀನ್ ಏನ್ ಬಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅವನು ಕೈ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಅದು. ನಾನು ಸರಿ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ತಮಾಷೆಗೆ, ಓ your liver is going to be the most problem. Sir, my doctor also said that. ನಾನು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಹೌದಯ್ಯ, ನೀನ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕುಡಿದ್ರೆ ಲಿವರ್ ಹೋಗದೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಹೋಗತ್ತೆ.
ಅದೇ
ಇದು ಸ್ವಯಂಕೃತ ಅಪರಾಧ.
ಹೌದು.
Who told you to drink? ಒಂದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಯಂಕೃತ ಅಪರಾಧ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, when we were babies, did we have any enemies? We used to play with a toy. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಗು ಅದು ಬೊಂಬೆ ತಗೊಂತಪ್ಪ, ನಾವಂದ್ರೆ ಅಳ್ತಿದ್ವು ಅವಾಗ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್, ಅದು ನಾನು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಭಾವನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಬಟ್ ಆಸ್ ವಿ ಗ್ರೋ ಅಪ್, ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಇಸ್, ನಾವು ಶತ್ರುಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. ಐದರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಎನಿಮೀಸ್. ಅದು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ವೇದಿಕ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಂತುಕ. ಆಗಂತುಕ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್.
Your actions, you are responsible.
You are responsible. 90% who come to me are these people. ಏನೋಪ್ಪ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓನರು ಸೇಮ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ 3 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಾಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ನಾನು, ಇನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ ನೀನ್ ತಪ್ಪಾನೆ. ಅದು ಒನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ rectified to some extent. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿ ರೆಮಿಡೀಸ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, ನಾವೇನು ತಪ್ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನೋ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, ಏನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ವೇ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್. ದಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಸೇ, ಐದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ಸ್. ಅದು ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು ನಿಜ ದೋಷ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ರೆಮಿಡೀಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಅಂಡ್ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ನಿಂದ ಬರೋದು, ಇದು ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಪಿತೃಗಳಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ,
ಆನ್ಸೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್
ಓಕೆ,
ಆರ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್. ನಾವು ವಿ ಸೋಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಅದಿವಾಗ ಮರ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ. ಸರ್ಪದೋಷ ಅನ್ಬೋದು. ಕುಕ್ಕೆಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ಕುಕ್ಕೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ? ಸರ್ಪ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ? ನಾಗ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾಪನೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ? ಆಶ್ಲೇಷ ಬಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾತಕ ನೋಡಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ವಿಸಿಬಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್. ಆ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ರೆಮಿಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಸರಿ, ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ತಲೆನೋವ್ರಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೂ ತಲೆನೋವು ನನಗೂ ತಲೆನೋವು, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ತಲೆನೋವು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಸರಿ, ತಲೆನೋವು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಇಬ್ರು ಸೇಮ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗೋಣ, ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ತಲೆನೋವಾ, ಸರಿ, ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾತ್ರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನನ್ನ ತಲೆನೋವು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾತ್ರೆ. Why? Because your body constitution is different. My body constitution is different. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರೀ ನನಗೆ ನೆಗಡಿ ರೀ ಏನೋ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ,
ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ತಗೊಂಡು
OTC ಓವರ್ ದ ಕೌಂಟರ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನನಗೆ ಟ್ವಿಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಇವಾಗ earlier it was called Twitter, now it is called X. They say, this is my chart. ಚಾರ್ಟ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಗಿಮಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನು? ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರು ವೈದ್ಯನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಪಲ್ಸ್ ತಗೋತಾರೆ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಥೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೆಮ್ಮಂತಾರೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ತಾನೇ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಆಂಟಿಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು MG ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ಹಂಗೆ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷದಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ವಯಂಕೃತ ಅಪರಾಧ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಬಂದ್ರು, ರೇ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಪಾಪ ಆಯಪ್ಪನು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲೇ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು, ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಯ್ತಾ?
most likely
all the land right now, whether it is Bangalore or not, is very dicey right now. Aita? But the whole issue is, this is what they have created themselves. This can be rectified relatively much more easier than the problem that is coming from the past. First is Jyotisha I keep telling, Jyotisha from the Sampradaya, andre not a Jyotisha from YouTube. This is very important. Please, this discussion between you and I must also educate people. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್, ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರದೇ ಚಾನಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್. ಇವಾಗ ಗುರು ಶಿಷ್ಯ ಪರಂಪರಾನಿಂದ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ತಾತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರಪ್ಪ, 7-8 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪನಯನ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 11 cousins. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ನೋ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್. ನಮಗೆ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ರು ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ರು ಅಂತ. ಕಲಿತೀವೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತನೂ ಕೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಓದೇ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸರಿ, ತಾತ ಗಾಟ್ ಬಿಸಿ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಯ್ತು, ಬಿಸಿ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ದಂಡ, ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ದಂಡ ಆಡೋಣ, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಡೋಣ, ಲಗೋರಿ ಆಡೋಣ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ನಮ್ ದೊಡ್ಡಪ್ಪ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲು ಅವ್ರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್. ಆ ಥರ ಕಲ್ತು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. 7-8 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ. ಇವಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ 55. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ್. Either you belong to a family of a tradition, or you can join a family of tradition. I have hundreds of my students now. All the students are a part of my Katti family. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಗುರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಶಿಷ್ಯ. All ಶಿಷ್ಯas are children, so they belong to my family. ಆ ಥರ ಕಲ್ತ್ರೆ then a Jyotishi can really help us. Otherwise,
makes sense. That truly makes sense. All right, so I have a very basic question now. What is astrology? Is it science? Is it intuition? Or is it belief?
I have already talked about people who don't believe, who believe. We'll keep that aside. I've already addressed that. But yes, what you asked, part of your question was about intuition. That is very important. Because if you look at Jyotish, all the granthas of Jyotish which have been written by the rishis and maharishis, there are thousands and tens of thousands of combinations. It is next to impossible to mug everything up. Even if there is a combination, just on the top of my head, let us say 7th Lord is in the 12th house. There is a combination like that. And the Maharishi has, or at least the translation says, if the 7th Lord is in the 12th house, the person will be deprived of his or her spouse. That is the translation. Now, why I insist on, I'll come back to intuition, but before that, why I insist on this translation is because the shlokas are in Sanskrit. If I or somebody translates that Sanskrit shloka which is original into any other language, especially English, 90% of its meaning is lost.
Haudu, Nija, very true.
It is lost. So the literal translation of that shloka may be in English, wife will be lost or spouse will be lost. If a person says, poor fellow is getting married, he's coming to you as an astrologer, and you say, your wife is going to run away, your wife is going to die, poor fellow, he will die there only. Or he will run away from you.
Poor thing.
Hopefully he will run away from such astrologers. The whole point here is, there is a combination that can be in multiple people's horoscope. But how to interpret it? A large part is the teachings of the Guru. That is why I keep talking about the Guru Shishya Parampara. But at the end of it, there is an event that you have to predict about. Somebody says, when will I get a job? Sir, AI has made my job. I got laid off. Right now, everybody is getting, most of the companies are letting go of people. So somebody comes and says, I have been let go. I have so much of commitments right now. So I now have to predict when he will get a job, when he or she will get a job. Now let us say he or she will get a job in the next 6 months. More than I is predicting that the person is going to get the job in the next 6 months. Today, right now, I have to visualize that event unraveling in my in here. This is what is called the Agnya Chakra. And please don't mistake me. This has got nothing to do with Kundalini. But the energy here, which is between your eyebrows, is called the Agnya Chakra, which is Agni. The ability to see into the future. For example, I can see something in the room. That is seeing. But vision is different. There is a difference between seeing and having a vision. So I must have a vision of that person, what is going to happen to that person 6 months from now. That vision comes from intuition. Now the main problem here, or the main core question here is, are people born with intuition, or can people develop it? People can develop intuition. Some people are born with it.
Lucky.
And these are major saints. Like Thakur, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Aurobindo, Ramana Maharishi, Jiddu Krishnamurti. All these people have excellent, they were born with it. But we are, think children of lesser God. I don't know. We are not that lucky. But we can, anyone and everyone can develop intuition. But it is not overnight. There are certain sadhanas you must do. In the age of fast food, 100 people will ask, I will practice it. I will do sadhana. But probably 99% people will leave midway. So this sadhana can sometimes be very, very excruciating, time consuming. Some are very simple, and it can take a very long time. So that is why I always tell, please start these practices very early in age.
You'll have more time.
You will have more time. Because at the time when you are 25 or 23 or 24, off you go to work. Software engineer. Whatever you do, you are gone. For 8 hours you are there. So start practicing that, or at least devote at least half an hour or 1 hour every day. But when do you start is the most important. It is like money. If you start investing at an early age, then that money compounds after some time.
Yes.
Okay, many people say, Warren Buffett. Okay, he got his first billion, I think, at the age of 50. So I am 50, I should also get. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the life of Warren Buffett, what happens is he started investing at the age of 11.
That is what matters.
So from the age of 11 till he became 50, that is when the compounding started.
Yeah.
So when you start, that is why I said it is never too late to start. Please start. But that sadhana must come from a guru.
Mm.
You can't pick any one mantra from YouTube or Instagram and and just do. Then,
And just get started.
And just get started. No, you will not. You will get. In fact, a lot of negative things can happen.
Oh.
A lot of negative things can happen. I have seen nightmares of people going through that. One of my students himself went through that nightmare. Probably I'll talk about it later.
But I think it's important that people know about that as well.
Yes, because right now what is happening is there is a huge amount of nonsense. I see. I'm a person who says a spade is a spade.
Yeah.
Thanks to my technology experience of 25. Okay, I'll say spade is a spade. No sugar coating, nothing. So now there is a huge kind of racket that is going on Instagram or everywhere called Awaken Your Kundalini.
How do
you must have seen
all these ads going
all
on
ads are going on. Right? So that then they will talk.
One touch alli
you touch someone here and then yeah. Please waste all your money. No problem. Okay, that is not. If you want to waste money, you waste money. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
But the whole problem, the whole point, context is whether it is Kundalini or another racket that is going on right now is Dasha Mahavidya. Bagalamukhi. Court case is there. Somebody told me to practice Bagalamukhi. Again, Bagalamukhi is supposed to destroy your enemies. And I am doing this air quotes. Okay?
And, I don't think that is something you should take lightly, right?
You should not. But what people come to me and say that I have a court case. So can you give me a Bagalamukhi mantra so that my opponent in the court will lose? Now I'll say, what if he starts Bagalamukhi also? Then you will lose. No. So what? The whole point is the Dasha Mahavidya was taught in the ancient times by certain very old schools. Those gurus are not there anymore. Not there anymore. Now it has become a fad. But if you look at Dasha Mahavidya, especially Bagalamukhi, means the goddess is holding the tongue of somebody and trying to pull it out. Okay? Now people will say that you can make your enemy stop. Now we call it stambhana. Stambhana means to make a person stop. So I am going to do this so that my enemy stops attacking me. What actually Bagalamukhi is trying to say is, you control your tongue.
The interpretation is so wrong, right?
Absolutely wrong, and they get into a lot of problems later because mantras probably are there in books or in internet or something like that. But are you qualified to do that? There is a lifestyle you have to follow. There's a lot of things. So let's not, let's not
get it. Important that you learn from the right source.
Right source, and the sources are, and a person, they say chakra cleansing. Now what the hell is that? I have no idea. I take bath every day. Summer, maybe twice a day. I don't know where are the chakras? Here, there, here. Everything is. I said, okay. Blockage of chakras. All these are terms because one fundamental reality is, like my guru used to say, is people who have Kundalini awakened don't go to Instagram ads.
Right.
They will not be a part of society even. If they are married, they will leave their children, wife and go away. This is the dark side of spirituality. Nobody knows. Spirituality is not, something you can buy over the counter. There are lot of things. So intuition, there are other simple mantras everyone can chant to develop that intuition. Probably if somebody comes to me and asks, for my students, now their intuition has increased. Why? Because they dedicate about half an hour to 1 hour to certain practices which I have personally taught them. How did I teach them? My guru taught me. How did my guru know? His guru taught him. Like that, it is a chain. But intuition is something that can be developed.
But it's all a part of it. So astrology, ella barutte. It's intuition, it's belief.
Everything comes in the way, because astrology or Jyotish, I prefer to call it Jyotish, because Jyotish comes from two words, Jyoti and Isha. Jyoti is light and Isha is the study of light.
Oh, okay.
So what we are doing is we are studying Surya, because the original creator of light is Surya. So I am trying to understand Surya, and Surya also not only gives me the power to see, but Surya also gives me the power of vision. What is going to happen? So many examples that have happened in my home. People don't ask me, many questions right now, because sometimes I say something and it comes true. And my children are very angry.
Why did you say that?
Why did you say that? It happened. Okay, a lot of things are
But that's how strong your intuition is.
It can be stronger. It can be stronger. There is no higher limit to that. But in our kind of age we are living in, if you can follow certain amount of rules, and it does not mean that those rules you have to do some ritual for 3 hours or that. You just sit for half an hour and practice what I have told, and over a period of time you will start to understand what is happening. You don't even have to have a horoscope. It can be as simple as, this is what I used to use it in my corporate career, ex-corporate career now. So when talking to a client, his body language, the way he talks to me, based on that, I use that knowledge to make sure that I deliver that project like what he or she wants.
That must have felt like a superpower.
But then no, see, that's the whole point. This is intangible. This is intangible. It's not tangible. You can't touch it, you can't measure it, you can't feel it. It is something that comes internally. That is intuition.
Makes sense. So my next question is, and I think in general a lot of people wonder about this. Let's say there are two people born on the same date, right?
Okay.
Yet their lives are completely different.
Yes.
How is that possible?
Why two people born at the same time? Let us talk about twins. In my family, my cousin has twins. Boys. They are quite a handful, by the way. Yeah.
Sure.
Completely. I don't envy their parents. But it is not like a person was born on a particular date in Bangalore. One in Martha's Hospital, the other in Cradle. Okay. It is, let's talk about, because this, especially the concept of twins, is typically used for by those people. It's used by those people to challenge astrology, Jyotish. But you need to get into a little, it's just not that superficial. The twins are born maybe 30 seconds apart or 1 minute apart.
Could be.
Right? So they will say, all the planets are in the same place. One becomes an engineer and the other probably becomes a dentist. But what I say is, before you for example, is quantum mathematics or quantum science true? It is.
It is, yeah.
Why do you say it is? Did you study it?
There are people who studied it.
If I have some kind of an introduction to quantum science, then I will say what Newton said and what Einstein said, there are certain differences. But I have to get into that science to have even a semblance of a debate. People walking without knowing the depth of Jyotish will just say, twins, same time, no. Jupiter is same place, Saturn is same place, Lagna also is same. How are you going to say? They don't know the concept of time. If the time right now, let us say, is 12 o'clock, I can divide that 12 o'clock into minute pieces. I can divide it by, let us say, 9. That probably will give your fortune, Bhagya.
Hmm.
Bhagya ellinda barutte. Very. I will divide that time by 10 to know when will you get a new job, what is the nature of your boss, or is your boss really kind of doing some politics
Inside job.
more than your boss? Is the people who are your peers, your colleagues, are they jealous of you? Whether they are what is the nature of the person who is trying to harm you? Dashamsha. So every amsha andre, what is amsha? Amsha is a part, it's a portion. So I am going to divide that time into small portions. Certain portions are so sensitive that I can divide this 12 o'clock into more than 60 equal parts. It is not 60 divided by 12 where you get 4, 5. No. It is just look at that equation. It is 12 divided by 60. So that 12 is getting into very minute pieces. That pieces will not be the same for the twins, because that piece will change in probably about 6 seconds. So if twins are born maybe 30 seconds apart, that particular chart is completely different. That is why the karma of one twin is probably becoming a child accountant and the other person becoming a soldier at the border. So one must get into these divisions of Kala. Kala is time. That is why the Maharishis wrote so many shlokas. Now we are still scratching our heads right now. They did not have a telescope. Then how did they say the distance between Earth and Sun is 108 times the Sun's diameter? You calculate now, it's exactly the same till the 5 decimal points. That is why people who can say born in the same, I was born in Martha's hospital, probably some baby was also born at the same time in Martha's hospital. The destinies are different. Twins' destinies are different. Okay, even my cousin has twins. Okay, the elder one is very aggressive, beats the younger one. The younger one is very docile. He says, Amma, what to do? These are certain things. But if you want to criticize astrology or Jyotish, don't criticize, have a debate. But come to a debate only after learning something about that.
Have some knowledge before talking.
Have some knowledge. I am not here to actually convince anybody about my Shastra. It is the onus of proof is on you. You have some basics and then you come to me, then we will have a debate.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, right.
All right, Kattiji. So my next question is, a lot of people think that astrology is about predicting the future, including me. But is it really predicting the future or does it just guide us?
What is the difference?
You straight away go tell this is what is going to happen in the future.
No, that is not astrology. Astrology is first to say that, I'll give an example. For example, a couple comes to me and says, it's been 5 years since marriage. We are trying for a child. It's not happening. So a couple comes and says, okay, we are unable to conceive. So there are 2 parts to it. One is the present. Is there a problem presently? So instead of saying that a child is going to be born 1 year or 2 years from now, my job is to tell them what is the blockages which are happening right now. Right now. Other example, somebody says, you know what? I get a job, but every job does not last more than 2 years. I must tell that person why. Why is that your karmic patterns are repeating in such a way that every 2 years something happens in you and then
you end up quitting or getting fired or something.
You're fired or you just resign.
Yeah.
Right? So Jyotish is just not about, of course it is about the future, but how am I going to give a roadmap if I don't correct the problem? If I don't advise as to what the root cause problem is, I'm not helping the gentleman, him or her.
Yeah.
So if there is no child happening, then I will see the husband and wife chart, and then I will say, maybe the sperm count is low in the man, or maybe the quality or the fertility of the egg in the woman, there is some problem. So why don't you see a gynecologist? Maybe some supplements will work. I can give many examples, which how it all turned out. This is one way. Second, the health of the husband and wife, both are fine. The reports are fine. But still, they are not able to conceive, which means there is a problem from the past. Something is blocking that from the past. I must tell them what is blocking from the past, suggest some remedies, and then trust me, it works. Trust me, it works. There is, again, I want to actually sing. I don't want to give the name, but I guess everyone will know. People who have followed a particular gentleman who is a very famous multilingual actor, okay, completely against religion, especially the Hindu religion, okay, completely against God, makes fun of Sanatana Dharma, okay, but for him to get a child, he and his wife had to go to Kukke. Only after the child came. Okay. So later you can actually do chat GPT on that.
I just keep wondering throughout the session who that person.
You can go to chat GPT nowadays. AI, it will tell you.
So you're basically saying it's both. It does
It is
predict
both.
future,
First,
but there is
my
also
job.
guidance.
My job, if somebody comes, I must tell, why did you land up here? What is the reason you are currently in this mess? Next is how to correct it. If I can do both, then I think I have changed that person's karmic patterns. I have not changed it. What I'll rephrase. I have not changed his karmic patterns. I have just made him understand his karmic patterns so that he does not repeat it again. So a person who keeps leaving a job every 2 years, maybe he will stick on to a job for 4 years. That is what is healing in Jyotish. This is what right now. Why did you land up right now in whatever situation you are? How can I correct it? That is all. That is Jyotish.
All right. So, Kattiji, my next question is, and I'm very curious about this. So, in all these years of practicing astrology, what is one thing that really surprised you about astrology?
So many. In my journey from learning from my family to many other gurus, there are many instances where I had that aha moment, the wow aha moment. On the top of my mind, there was a great astrologer very close to my home called Sri R.G. Rao. He was the contemporary of B.V. Raman and all those big astrologers. And he has taught many people. There was a student of his called Ravi Shankaran. I think he was working as a scientist in DRDO, Bangalore. Of course, he's no more now. But when he was alive, he was the chief guest in one of my astrology seminars. Very learned man. So I invited him for lunch, dinner at my home. So he came home. He looked at my home. He asked permission, I just want to look around. So he looked at my living room, the attire, the bedroom downstairs, the dining hall, the puja room, the kitchen. And all he did was he took a piece of paper and a pen and he drew my chart.
Just by looking at your house.
No date, no month, no year, no time of birth, no place of birth. And trust me, he did not have it. He just wrote. Why? Because his guru has written a very small book. It is called Fortune from Thy Home.
Oh.
Trust me, I've been trying to understand that book since the last 5 years. I am not able to crack that.
Wow.
Because going into the home, you look at the number of windows, this Shastra can predict what is happening in your life right now. Do you have an open kitchen? Do you have a closed kitchen? Where is your puja room?
Wow.
Peek into the puja room. How many lamps are there? Right? So all these things. Now this is a science which is a very hardcore Jyotish. It is not there in YouTubes. It is definitely not there in Instagram. Okay, but that was like, how can he do that? Then he said, no, teach me. And he was such a nice person. He taught everybody whatever they asked. There is another gentleman in Bangalore, which unfortunately he does not teach. In fact, my wife and I had gone. And the moment you enter his room, he starts furiously scribbling something. Furiously scribbling something. And then he says, okay, ask whatever you want. Whatever he has scribbled, he has put it aside.
Okay.
Once he's done, he's not going to touch it. Then people will probably ask, when will I get a job? When will I get, construct a house, etc., etc. Then he will give the answers. And at the end, he will show what he has scribbled. It will be exactly the same questions you asked.
Wow.
Before even you opened the mouth. This is another, wow. How do they do that?
And he doesn't teach that.
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. There is another Shastra, which is again, it's on a decline because I can count on my fingertips as to how many people probably do it. It is called the Ashtamangala Prashna.
I've heard of the name.
Ashtamangala Prashna is a very procedural kind of thing. It is basically from Kerala tradition. There was a gentleman who was a close friend of the great Bananjaya Govindacharya, based in Udupi. They can tell not only your life, your past life, what all karmas, dushkarmas you have done. Okay. So these are certain aha moments you see, in life. Okay. And of course, there are many aha moments of my students and clients also, but that was not the question. The question was aha moment of mine, and there are so many. And I'm absolutely, and these great gurus were so humble. They were so humble that they could just be in probably a Gandhi Bazaar, Vidyarthi Bhavan eating dosa, and you would never even come to know. No celebrity status, no podcast like this. I wish that I had my gurus now so that I can actually, talk to them so that, many people can benefit out of it. But many aha moments,
I'm also having one right now listening to the stories. All right, Kattiji. So my next question is, you've had a lot of people coming to you, talking to you, right? Have you seen someone whose life has completely changed after they understood astrology, after they understood their chart?
It happened to a person I know now, a student of mine. It so happened that the father came and I was looking at the chart. His daughter was going through a really bad health phase. She was on life support, couldn't walk. So I suggested some remedy. Of course, she was not able to do it completely, but her grandmother did. Her Ajji did. In 1 year, she couldn't walk at all. She was in a wheelchair. So in about a year, she started walking with a walker. Next year, she was walking on herself. I think the third year she danced during the Sangeet function of her brother's marriage.
Wow.
She danced.
That's amazing.
See, Jyotish can heal not just the physical, but also the mental and more importantly, the emotional.
Very important. Yeah.
She's changed her life around. Now she's doing a lot of yoga. She's doing a lot of courses on yoga, Ayurveda, Jyotish. Okay. Many of my students, many of my clients, they wouldn't believe it at first. But then I just said, just surrender with all the bhakti you have. Just be consistent in what mantra I am giving you. It will take time probably. But then, rags to riches I have seen. A person who was absolutely, their parents probably, came and, not probably, they came and said, this fellow is gone. This fellow is gone. Neither does he study. By the way, he already had finished college. Okay. हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, घूमते रहता है. सब लोग को घूमते रहता है. My mother actually said, what is he doing now? मेरा बेटा तो pilot है जी.
Yeah.
And I said, what? If he's a pilot, you're not going to ask. She actually meant that he is flying in the air. Please, iska kuch karo. And I said, okay, do this. Then right now, he's managing the family business.
Wow.
I think about 800 to 900 crore per annum. But then who is counting?
That's very impressive.
This is the change, which a long-term permanent change, because the attitude has to come in. And that attitude comes because of the energy of the remedy. And when I say remedy, 99.99%, I mean mantras only. Maybe a ritual of 3 to 3.5 hours, but no elaborate. No.
It's not really about spending crores together.
There's really no point.
Yeah.
Because if somebody says that, in fact, one of my client and a student, I also said, I'm very worried about my son. Poor fellow, he booked a consultation. Then I looked. I said, what's wrong? He said, no, the person actually who was doing a homa at my home, he said in front of everybody that my son will have some kind of a life-threatening, what we call as Gandanta, at the age of 18. Now, you see, psychologically, it is such a huge pain for a person, especially parents.
True.
So then I said, okay, you must. Then I shouted at him, you are learning Jyotish from me. Why didn't you ask that fellow who said this? On what basis are you saying?
Yeah.
He said, sir, I was so nervous. He told it in front of 50 of my family members during the puja, what to do. And I said, what remedy did he? He said, I come back to this example again.
Yeah.
That gentleman suggested some 33 crore japa of Mahamrityunjaya. Mahamrityunjaya is a wonderful mantra, no doubt about it. But 33 crores. First question, who is going to chant 33 crores?
How are you going to count that?
Usually what they say is, okay, we will have a team of 9 priests chanting parallelly. Now 33. Now let's try to visualize this in numbers. 1 crore is 100 lakhs.
Yeah.
33 crores.
Yeah.
So many zeros. Okay, I wish I had that money, currency.
Just hearing the numbers, my mind is going
Exactly.
blank right now.
So who is going to count? How? See this, and what is the price for that? It was astronomical. He's a middle class person, a salaried person who is going to get into a remedy that is worth maybe 17 to 18 lakhs. Then Kannada, I said, hey, don't do all that. Okay, do this mantra. Okay, then everything will be fine. See, the very fact that you remove that fear, that itself is the foundation of Jyotish. That is why earlier I said, a Jyotishi must have compassion. A Jyotishi must have empathy. A Jyotishi must never do fear mongering.
Yes, exactly.
Because we all have problems. Day in and day out, some problems will come.
Very true.
The question is, are you going to make him comfortable? Give him, I'm not saying flatter him. I'm not saying give false hope, but give him some direction.
Yeah.
That is important.
Yes, very true. So, Kattiji, you must have heard this particular sentence a lot. We are good people. We don't know why we are suffering. Why is this happening to us? Why are we suffering when I know there are bad people out there who are not suffering? So, what do you have to say to somebody like this?
Why do very bad people have lot of money and power? See the reverse of it?
Yeah.
A very spiritual person can go to jail. And we had that in our recent times.
Yeah.
When Jayalalitha was the chief minister, she arrested the person who holds the Dharmadanda, the Shankaracharya. Such a spiritual person. This is what I am saying, that karma is not only gender neutral, it is good neutral, it is evil neutral.
Yeah.
Right? Because that karma has to be played out. So that is why you see a lot of very bad people. They are having a great time.
Yeah.
They have cheated millions of people, thousands of people, if not millions, thousands of people. Okay, someone's, at least in Bangalore, this is a problem, or it was a problem. Somebody started a chit fund.
Very big problem.
Right?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Right? Or somebody started a cooperative bank. Okay.
And then
Now
they
run away.
Yeah.
They were caught. They got into a jail. They got bail.
ಬೇಲು ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಹೌದು
ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, no problem. But he has done so wrong. But why is he still enjoying? So our perception is never, karma is never that you do something bad now, the result is immediate.
You're not
No.
immediately.
It can be 10 years from now, or it could be in the next lifetime. ಅದೇ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಚಿತ್ರಗುಪ್ತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
He is the document keeper of Yama. He's the but when will that fructify? It may not be immediate. A good person can go through very bad times, but he may or may not come back also. Lot of allegations are there. Nowadays what happens is, our success is not so great, but other failures are makes us happy.
ಹೌದು. Sadly that is
true, right? Somebody has fallen. Oh, very good. That's why you see in social media all the trolling happening. Right? But who gets trolled probably gets more followers, more impressions. They will go on and do monetization also. Right? But then it will come back. The question is, when will it come back? That is where Jyotisha comes into picture. That is why, let it be what you are doing, you do. What kind of sadhana you are doing, you do. Okay, even a simple 30 minutes of meditation is enough. You don't have to sit in a very, all that. You sit on a couch. Sit here and do half an hour meditation. Whatever type of meditation, I don't care. There are millions right now. Now if you go on Instagram or Google or courses, there are so many courses. Just can you sit? That's why people ask, can you teach me meditation? I said, yes, I can teach you meditation, but one condition. Every day for 5 minutes you must sit still without minimum body movements. You do it for 1 month and come back, we'll see. Nobody has come back.
And it's very difficult also for a lot of people.
So when you don't have control on your body, how can you have a control on your mind?
True.
It's not the other way around. It's this way. So that is why when good people go through bad times, it is their karma. What did they do? In this life they did not do anything, but in the past life, who knows? And that is why there is one particular subject in Jyotisha so far I have not taught. Is what did you do in your past life?
I think that will trigger a lot of emotions for people.
It is very traumatic. That's why I don't teach. My students keep on asking, Guruji, when are you going to teach that? Right? I say, we'll see. Probably I'm going to teach this to my senior students this year. Maybe. I don't know. I have not decided. But then what you did, all this is so emotionally traumatic. But to be very logical, does it help you right now? Right? What you did in the past is past, right? So instead of focusing and getting bogged down and getting into that emotional trauma of the past, why can't we do some corrections now?
Focus on the present.
Focus now.
Yes.
So that is why, again, my advice is, please do not go into these Instagram ads and YouTube ads like past life karma. Don't get into that. I was saying, a bad person goes through or is going through a very bad phase. A good person is going through a very bad phase. The seeds of that is from the past. Now the question is, again, as I say, what happened in your past? There is a Shastra in Jyotish. There is a very specific chart for it, which is called the Shashtiyamsha chart, which is also abbreviated as D60, which I have not, or rather deliberately, consciously, I have not taught so far, because we all come from a past. And I don't think we can be so arrogant to say that our past was all like good. No, we have done a lot of mess. That is why we are here. The rebirth happens because of that. Otherwise, we all would have been in Vishnu Loka or Vishnu Pada. The whole point is, I'm trying to make is this emotional trauma of the past, karma. Okay. See, there are good tools. Okay. Like YouTube is there, Instagram, they are good tools. But you must also understand that do not get into certain things which will complicate matters for you, especially from an emotional trauma. Please don't do that. Because as I was, in my younger days, I had young hot blood. I used to, as I said in the beginning, I used to argue with every damn fellow. Okay, so somebody said, I will tell you what you were in the past life. I literally, I rolled up my sleeves and said, yeah, tell me. I'm ready, tell me. He said, you started as a duck.
Interesting.
As a duck. Did someone eat me? Because I believe people eat ducks also.
Very possible.
Yeah. So now I asked him, so tell me what I did as a duck or even a human being. Then he said, it is possible that you beat somebody.
As a duck?
Thankfully, no. He said, next life. So they go. This is what is called past life regression. How does it help? Saripa, what that? Somebody I hit. Now, whatever bad karma I did in the past, I am going to face it in this life. I also agree with that. But the question is, can you as a Jyotishi tell me, how can I minimize it? Instead of being beaten again by an iron rod, can I please be beaten by a wooden stick? Can I do something like that? See, that is how you must look at Jyotish and just not follow whatever is there. But there are some excellent people also on Instagram and YouTube. But again, you need to really do your own research to find out where they come from, what is the sampradaya, right? What is their lineage, who is their guru, like that. Otherwise,
you have to be very careful about that.
Correct the current situation.
True.
That is important.
You straight away go tell this is what is going to happen in the future.
How will the knowledge of Garuda Purana help the person who is already dead?
Sound of it itself is scary.
Exactly. At Jyotishi, no? We have to go and find him. Sir, my doctor also said that. So there are 16 horoscopes that make one person. This is called